the one thing I was really reassured of when talking to Mike about this, he said they know that they haven't done franchise right for a while. He said this isn't a 1 year thing. Like, this is a direction they're going. They've invested. They've brought in a lot of community people to either be contractors or full timers to, help get franchise the direction it needs to be going. I like the fact that they're thinking more than 1 year at a time about this particular thing.
Yeah.
So let's see if it plays out.
Welcome back, sports gamers. It's the natural. That was Matt Burks from Game Informer. Speaking of Michael Young, the creative director of Madden 20 and Madden 20 franchise. And as we all know, outside of a few scouting progression updates, EA has not done much with franchise at all. They've mostly focused on Madden Ultimate Team and Long Shot, and a lot of people have been waiting for a big step forward in franchise. And I think Madden 20 definitely is going to be a step in the right direction. Now, Mike Young commented that they want to bring life and ability to have decisions that can impact your franchise based on how you handle personnel, morale, teammates, and employees. And that is not just stats and management like it was in the past. They've actually dug deep into franchise mode and tried to improve it. And the biggest addition to franchise mode for Madden 20 is not a new feature. It's not a new back of the box thing or anything like that. It is Moonlight Swami, aka Andre Weingarten. He recently joined the team about a little over a year or so ago, and they've moved. He's done a little bit of franchise work, did some ratings work. He's done a lot, but he's a lot focused on franchise, and that is the biggest addition. And I've known him for several years, and I've known his work ethic. I've known that he knows football. He knows Madden. A lot of times people are saying, we feel like we play the game, and those guys at EA, they don't, no one's ever played football. They don't know about. This dude knows football, and he knows franchise pretty much better than anyone that I'm aware of. And he is the biggest addition to this team, and he's going to make a difference in Madden. This is why I have confidence. This is not hype. I have confidence in Madden 20, Madden 21, and going forward because of Moonlight Swami being there. And some of the additions that they're making this year will not only freshen up pre-existing systems like trade logic, free agency, and scouting, but they also develop something called the scenario engine. And that's Madden 20's instrument for recreating dynamic storylines and headlines in the game. So what they did, they looked at 7 years of headlines in the real NFL and then created scenarios in the game. The scenario engine will drive that. So that means like Le'Veon Bell's holdout, Antonio Brown demanding a trade. So the scenario engine will create dynamic storylines on a week-to-week basis, depending on how you're playing, who you are, your record, your stats, the personalities around you, and it'll create stories. They could be 1 week stories, they could be several storylines that are branching into different ones. This will inject real-life NFL drama into franchise, holdouts, replacing veteran players like when Andrew Luck replaced Peyton Manning and the drama that comes with that. These stories will update through the year with new scenarios to keep franchise fresh. So for years we've asked for content updates like they have for MUT. They release constant content for that. But franchise, pretty much after launch, it was the same. Besides, little fixes here and there. But now we actually will get some content updates in franchise mode through the scenario engine. Now, it might not be amazing in year one, but this is something that opens it up. Like I talked about previously in past years when they first brought the new commentary team on and how they will be able to update commentary in the game. That was a step in the right direction, and they're building upon that. This is the same thing with the scenario engine. When they able to update the game with new, fun, interesting scenarios, the stuff that happens in real life, that's a big step in the right direction. Also, the ability when they're adding personality types into the game where differentiate players. So they have the new abilities now in the game where players are going to be a little bit different than others and not just based upon ratings. Now they have different personality types because all players aren't carbon copies of each other. Someone like Antonio Brown is a much different person or player than somebody like Larry Fitzgerald. Even though they're both great receivers, their personalities is completely different how they go about their business and playing in the league. So players can demand trades, and also the scenario engine will last multiple seasons. I'm really interested to see how it's going to play out in online CFM with 31 other users. I'm really curious how it integrates into that and not just offline, because it seems to be more offline tailored, but we'll see. I'm really interested to hear more about the scenario engine. So the scenario engine will only focus on football matters On the field, it would be dope if off-field issues like suspensions or players breaking the law would be included in the game. But as we all know, the NFL would never approve anything like that. So I'm not even going to even think that it'd be a consideration at any point. So the franchise engine will also tie into how some players can grow or develop. So it's not just XP anymore, but also they can become X factors and different skills and abilities you can unlock through the game there. So in Face of the Franchise, which is the QB1 mode there, you can meet challenges to unlock abilities. Like Tom Brady would approach your player before the game and be like, if you're elite, you drop 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, like me. And then accomplishing that would unlock additional abilities for your players. Also, they've reworked schemes a little bit. So not all the schemes and required archetypes are reflective of their real life teams, and you couldn't alter the specific positions to better fit the scheme you want to employ. You basically had to just go whatever they had already set up. And even star players who were dynamic enough to have several schemes, they wouldn't receive the scheme fit XP boost if their top rated skill wasn't scheme fit appropriate. So the system isn't going away, but they're gonna, improve it some, because it's kind of annoying that you have players who play the run and rush the passer equally, but your scheme fit had to be just one of those. So they're gonna make it better so it isn't so as strict. So the game this year introduces 3 new offensive schemes. They have a West Coast spread, which is all about keeping defense on their toes with quick strike, horizontal passing attack, and also opens up running lanes for quarterbacks. The pistol is a shotgun-based formation that allows attackers to target the weak side of the field with runs or passes. And the air raid, which is a pass-heavy, no-huddle system that requires the quarterback to make quick adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Also, they added on defense 4 new schemes. So coaches that want to slow down attacking offenses can employ the 4-3 cover 3, which is designed to only allow small gains. Teams want to pressure the quarterback can try out the 3-4 storm scheme, provided they have the scheme up front and linebackers that can jump passing routes. Another counter to spread offenses is the 4-3 quarters, and better known as cover 4. And the last new scheme was the 3-4 disguise, which is predicated on confusing the quarterback with symmetrical lineups and disguise concepts. That 3-4 disguise sounds dope. But also, don't sleep on the 4-3 quarters. They have done a lot of cover 4 work. I know cover 4 was a soft spot last year and some of the bugs in it, but I know they've worked hard on working that, and I'm really curious to see how the cover 4 plays next year. That's something I'm definitely gonna get a look at early on, because that 4-3 quarters might be the move. But that 3-4 disguise also sounds really good. If you make everything look the same and switch up your defense in that, I'm curious about that one as well. So the development team revisited the archetypes associated with schemes in hopes of providing more flexibility. They reduced the XP bonus associated with scheme fits. So if a player is not a scheme fit, then the progression will be slightly lower, but no longer feel crippling. So I'm sure this addresses the underlying issue with the system, but we won't know for sure. So we'll see about that one. And as far as offline franchises, because there are a lot of offline guys out there, and probably more offline than online. A lot of guys out there who just play the CPU, and a lot of times there've been too little differentiation when playing CPU guys. Whether you are playing against a future Hall of Fame quarterback or a rookie, they pretty much just threw short and did not play close to their real world counterparts. So now with the new Superstar X Factor system, players will definitely play more and closely to their actual counterparts. They have 70 abilities, and they'll rather accentuate the unique capabilities of each player. Like Patrick Mahomes has unique animations to quickly escape the pocket. Also, he can throw and run across his body. Tom Brady gets more time in the pocket and can, diagnose the defense quickly, much more than a rookie quarterback. And Ben Roethlisberger has a pump fake that can disrupt your coverages and get his wide receivers open. So individual players will play more like their true self. And also, even last year when they updated the playbooks to better match the team's playbooks in real life. So each year they do update the playbooks, and that also will allow the CPU to play more realistically, because they'll be actually running the real plays that they run in real life. So a combination of the superstar skills, X factors, and updated playbooks to what the teams are really running will be a big difference when playing the CPU. Also, RPOs, you guys haven't watched previous videos, RPOs are in the game, and they have all different types of RPOs, and of course I will go over that once details and information is released about the RPO system. So that is it for the franchise breakdown information we have so far. Honestly, last year I wasn't excited about franchise. I didn't think I even did many videos on franchise because it was, so much copy and paste. But this year, I really like the improvements. Last year was mostly just a GUI update in the interface and a few minor things here and there. But I with Moonlight Swami, I really believe, honestly, that franchise is headed in the right direction. I'm excited for Madden 20, but also excited for Madden 21 and going forward because I think franchise is in good hands there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss more Madden 20 content here coming to SGO. This is The Natural. I'm out.